Welcome to a VI overview. Gonna open up a text file I've got saved here. Text files, sample contents available on the GitHub. Link will be down at the bottom. The very first thing we're going to do is talk about the difference between insert mode and command mode. If you look in the bottom left corner where we see the file name, we do not see the word insert, and so we know we're in command mode. I can use the navigation keys. So J will move the cursor down one line. K will move it up, similar to up arrows. L will move the cursor right. And H will move it left one space. Now in command mode I can navigate the file, but I'm not making any changes to the data. So if I want to do that, I'm going to use the lowercase I and go into insert mode. You can see my cursor right on line 30. And now we see insert in the bottom left. Now it's really important in VI to understand that when you're in insert mode, we're editing file contents, we're changing characters. We're in command mode, we're sort of navigating using the advanced features of the editor. Switching back and forth is an important skill, and that's really going to be a huge difference between getting great at VI and struggling with it and being cranky at it. So since I'm in insert mode, just type a whole bunch of stuff, and we see that that appears all on the line there, and I've messed this all up. Now what I can do is I can hit the escape key, and that takes me out of insert mode, and then if I use lowercase u, that undoes my changes, and I'm back right where I started. So I'll do that again. I'm going to go ahead and hit the lowercase I, add a whole bunch of content in here. And now if I forget to change modes and I just hit lowercase u, you can see it's not doing a lot of good for me. Go ahead and hit the escape key. That gets me back to command mode. I'm watching that bottom left corner. Lowercase u undoes my changes. Now the next thing I'm going to show you is how do we actually get out of this? Well, if I'm in command mode, I'm going to type colon. That brings a little prompt up on the bottom, and hit Q and hit enter. And that's going to let me quit. Now, one of the things that folks get challenged with starting out with VI is maybe they make a whole bunch of changes and they're like, I don't want to hang out with these are bogus. And we go to quit and it says, hey, what are you doing? You haven't saved anything, so you're going to abandon all your changes. So the way that we get around that is with Q and an exclamation point. And that will quit, getting rid of all the changes. Well, let's talk about what we want to do if we save some changes. So if I scroll down and let's say, for example, I want to change the Lamborghini to a Lamborghini Beetle. Now I'm going to go in insert mode. That's what I was using to make that change, but I'll hit escape. And now I'm back in command mode. I can use :W, and that wrote the file, and you can see that the file's been updated. And so now I'm all right to quit. The file's been saved and changed. Make another change here. Let's change this to a Countach. And I can see in the bottom, I'm still in insert mode. I hit escape to get back to command mode. And I've got a couple options here. So I want to save the changes and exit. So I can do W for write and then Q for quit. Or the same change is also just X. So we've got a couple different options to save and exit, but then we don't see the error message pop up letting us know that there's an unsaved change. So there's a few different ways to enter insert mode from command mode. So we can see my cursor's at the end of the line that says Escalade right now. If I want to insert a line above, I can do capital O, and that'll insert a line above. And you see that puts me in insert mode. So if I want to switch back to command mode, I'm going to hit escape, and I'll scroll down to number 13 here. Line below is going to be a lowercase o. And you see that also puts me in insert mode. So just be mindful of that when you're using some of these keys that'll create change navigationally. And here's what I mean by this. Well, let's say that I want to use the command to delete a single line. That is DD. So I'm in insert mode. If I type DD, well, that just inserts DD. So let's get rid of that. Now I've hit escape, should be back at command mode, and if I hit DD, you can see that line goes away. I can navigate up to my other blank line, DD again, and that line goes away. Now, one fun thing about DD is you can actually, from command mode, just type a number. So I'm going to hit the number 5, and then DD, boom, 5 lines gone. So maybe I want to make this movie just a little bit shorter, and go ahead and say 10 DD. There you go, Jerry Bruckheimer. We're editing for you. Only steal these cars. So, anyways, very powerful way to delete a whole lot of content very quickly. And remember, we can use our buddy the U key here and roll these changes right on back. So, very, very helpful. If we want to redo the changes, get too excited with the undo, can use Control R, and that'll roll the changes forward again. So U to undo, Control R to redo. All right, let's look at some search features. So we're going to use the / to basically just look for a pattern. I'm just going to look for 1999. And you can see it's highlighted the first instance, so it started at the top of the file and is highlighting the very first instance of 1999. So I'm going to hit enter here, and it's important that you hit enter, and you see that cursor change with 1999. And now if I use the lowercase n, I can navigate to every other instance of my matching search query. And then I hit the bottom, it says, hey, I'm continuing at the top. It starts all the way over again. I can hit N and I can just scroll right through these matching patterns. That's what I want to do. So let's see what happens if I do that wrong. If I just search for 1999, it highlights it, and then I add an N, and that's just down there at the bottom. So it's really important that after your search string, you hit enter, and then we can navigate through the results. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do a find and replace without being prompted right now. So I'm going to use G command, and first is our search term. So I'm going to search for every instance of the word Ferrari. And then I'm going to replace that with the phrase Magnum PI car. We'll close that off. And if we hit enter, we see that we have 5 substitutions on 5 different lines without any prompt or confirmation. So that's very powerful. We can do mass substitutions very, very quickly. Again, just like anything else inside of command mode, we can use the lowercase u to undo it, and we're back to having Ferraris, or we can do Control R again, and we're back to just calling it Magnum PI cars. All right, well, that's going to wrap it up for this quick overview of VI. Appreciate you hanging with me today. If you have any questions or comments, please go ahead and put them down below. And there will be the example files available up on GitHub, as well as a cheat sheet that you can download with all the different commands we use throughout the day.